Welcome back to the TH1 channel. Today, let's join our girl on her journey to build a house spanning across a street. First, she needs to lift long, sturdy wooden beams to span across the street, connecting one cliff to the other. Before she could get the logs ashore, she needed to tie them down so they wouldn't drift away. Her initial task is to craft a device resembling a spinning wheel that uses rotational force to hoist the beams from the stream up to the higher ground. She made herself an awl to act as a hammer. She starts by carving precise joints into the wood using a chisel, ensuring each piece can interlock seamlessly. Next, she attaches two smaller wooden sticks in a crisscross pattern onto the larger beam, creating a hand crank that functions much like a steering wheel. She needs to trim the wooden bar so that it fits the size of the hole that was previously cut. Then she uses force to fix it in place. Once completed, she erected the sturdy supports on either side and assembled the rotating mechanism between them, securing it securely with steel wire. She carefully tests the system to ensure the wheel can rotate smoothly, making adjustments as needed to guarantee the entire mechanism operates efficiently. Once the tool is complete, she ties a rope to one end of the wooden beam and secures the other end to the spinning mechanism. With everything in place, she begins the challenging task of hoisting the beams from the river below up to the cliff above. Using the rotational force of her newly crafted device. After successfully lifting one end of the wooden beam to the first side, she moves to the opposite bank to raise the other end, carefully positioning it to span the river from one cliff to the other. Once both ends are securely in place, she fastens them tightly to ensure stability. She repeats this process with a second beam, positioning it parallel to the first, leaving enough space between them to form the base structure for the house's foundation. She tied a rope between the two ends of the stream, creating a balance line that helped her maintain stability while working on the slabs. She uses a small tree branch to measure the distance between the two beams. With the measurement set, she gathers bamboo from the forest, a strong and lightweight material, and saws it into pieces matching the measured size. Each precisely cut to match the size she measured earlier with the branch. Once she has sawed enough bamboo pieces, she begins arranging them horizontally across the wooden frame. Carefully placing each bamboo piece side by side, she ensures there are no gaps, creating a smooth and uniform surface. To secure the bamboo firmly, she uses strong wire, tightly fastening each end to the wooden beams. To make the wire connections as secure as possible, she employs a nail as a tool to twist and tighten the wire, adding extra strength and stability to the structure. After completing the bamboo layer for the initial framework, she transitions to preparing the main flooring for the house. She used an electric saw to cut herself a large log, which she used to cut into floorboards. Each plank is carefully measured to match the dimensions needed for the flooring, ensuring uniformity and precision. She works steadily, adjusting the saw for clean cuts and smoothing out any rough edges to make the planks safe and visually appealing. You need to be careful when using an electric saw. It can hurt you at any time. Once all the planks are ready, she turns her attention to constructing a sturdy base to support the wooden floor. Using 3 thick, round wooden beams, she positions them horizontally across the width of the framework, spaced evenly to distribute weight effectively. To ensure her safety while working, she temporarily lays a few wooden planks across the framework. These planks serve as a makeshift platform, allowing her to move more securely and stabilize herself while fastening the wooden beams. With this added support, she can focus on properly aligning and securing the beams without worrying about losing her balance. Once she had firmly fixed the 3 wooden bars in place, she measured the distance between them precisely to ensure accuracy. Using these measurements as a guide, she begins cutting bamboo poles to the required lengths. She uses bamboo poles to connect the beams vertically, weaving them together to create a grid-like structure. This grid forms a stable square mesh that adds strength and balance, ensuring the floor above won't sag or shift over time. This meticulous process showcases her dedication to building a durable and well-balanced foundation for her elevated home. With the support frame completed, she begins laying the wooden planks one by one. She carefully aligns each plank across the grid, checking for straightness and ensuring no gaps remain between them. With the floor completed and nightfall approaching, using sturdy branches, she assembles the frame and covers it with a large tarp, creating a makeshift tent for the night. As the evening grows cooler, she gathers wood and builds a campfire nearby. She retrieves the pre-prepared food she had brought along and sets up near the campfire. Carefully, she places the pieces of meat over the open flames, turning them occasionally to ensure they cook evenly. This simple yet hearty meal marks the perfect end to a day of hard work, giving her the energy she needs for the tasks ahead. After her meal, she rests in her temporary shelter, recharging her energy for the challenges of the next day. The next morning, she took down the tent and cleaned up the campsite, ready to get back to work. Picking up where she left off, she begins covering the remaining framework with bamboo. She carefully aligns and secures each piece, ensuring they fit snugly and provide a sturdy enclosure for the structure. Once the framework is complete, she moves on to refining the floor. Using her saw, she trims the edges of the wooden planks on both sides, making the foundation neater and more uniform. With the house frame fully completed, she moves on to constructing the roof frame. To begin, she uses a chisel to carve precise notches into the 4 corner posts of the house foundation. These notches are carefully shaped to hold the framing beams of the house wall. Once the 4 corner notches are finished, she reinforces the structure by tying ropes from both sides of the house frame to the surrounding cliffs, increasing its overall stability and load-bearing capacity. Next, she chose sturdy, durable logs for the pillars of the house's frame. After measuring the length to fit the wall, she sawed the posts to the height equal to the measured dimensions. Stripping off the outer bark, she smooths each log for a cleaner finish and better fit. She used a ruler made of colored string to divide the log in half and cut along the previously drawn line. At each end of the logs, she saws notches that will allow them to interlock seamlessly with one another and fit snugly into the corner posts. At both ends of each log, she skillfully carves interlocking joints designed to connect the various parts of the roof frame seamlessly. These joints are crafted with precision, ensuring that each log fits tightly with the others, creating a strong and stable structure. This careful preparation ensures the roof frame will be sturdy, secure, and ready to support the weight of the roof and materials. The effort she puts into crafting these joints reflects her understanding of traditional building techniques, combining simplicity with durability. She starts by erecting for sturdy wooden posts at the four corners of the house's foundation, ensuring each one is securely positioned and ligned. With the posts in place, she measures the distance between their tops, carefully marking the dimensions needed to craft the connecting beams. She selects long, strong beams for the task and saws them to the required lengths. She carefully measures the dimensions of one end of the connecting joint, ensuring that the other end will fit as precisely as possible. With her measurements in hand, she takes a marker pen and meticulously marks the edges and outlines of the joint on the wood. These markings serve as her guide, helping her carve the matching piece with accuracy. Using a chisel, she carves interlocking joints at each end of the beams, ensuring they fit perfectly into the notches she previously made in the POSTS. Once the beams are ready, she attaches them to the tops of the posts. Use a mallet to tightly close the joints, TOGETHER. She connected all four corners to form a sturdy square frame. With each tight joint, the structure became stronger and more stable. To further strengthen the frame, she added a beam in the middle, running horizontally to divide the square into smaller sections. With the initial frame for the walls completed, she moves on to constructing the roof frame. The first step is to install a central wooden pole at the middle of the square frame. This pole serves as the main support for the roof. She carefully carves interlocking joints at the base of the pole, ensuring it fits securely into the horizontal beams of the wall FRAME. Once the central pole is firmly in place, she begins attaching angled wooden beams from its top dot. These beams extend downward to connect with each corner of the square frame, creating a pyramid-like structure for the roof. She uses nails to securely fasten each connection, ensuring the roof frame is stable and tightly bound. The bottom joint with the frame also uses zinc wire to fix it more firmly. To add more structure and stability to the roof frame, she incorporates bamboo poles as reinforcing elements. Starting from the apex of the roof, she secures each bamboo pole to the horizontal beams of the house frame below. The design of the roof is carefully planned to extend beyond the edges of the wall frame, creating generous overhangs. She ventures into the forest to gather large, sturdy leaves, ideal for thatching the roof of her HOME. Once she has collected enough, she returns to prepare the roof frame for the next step. Before laying the leaves, she carefully cuts bamboo into thin, flexible strips. These bamboo strips are then used to connect the edges of the roof frame, weaving them along the perimeter to complete the framework. The strips not only reinforce the outer rim of the roof, but also provide an anchor for securing the leaves. To ensure the leaves are securely fastened to the roof, she adds horizontal bamboo poles across the roof frame. These bamboo poles are carefully positioned and tied around the structure, creating a grid-like framework that holds the leaves firmly in place. By tying the bamboo strips tightly at regular intervals, she creates a sturdy base for layering the leaves. Once all the bamboo poles are securely fastened in place, she takes her saw and carefully trims away any excess lengths that extend beyond the edges of the roof frame. She begins the process of thatching the roof, starting at the edges of the roof frame. Carefully, she layers the large leaves one by one, working her way from the bottom edge up to the apex of the roof. Each layer overlaps the one below it, ensuring a tight, waterproof SEAL. To secure the leaves in place, she uses wire to bind them to the bamboo frame, making sure each layer is firmly attached and won't shift. With each layer, the roof begins to take shape, offering both protection and a natural aesthetic that blends beautifully with the surrounding environment. The process is meticulous as she ensures the roof is completely covered and ready to withstand the elements. As she reaches the top of the roof, the layers are thick and sturdy, offering ample protection from the elements. Once the entire roof is covered, she takes a sharp knife and trims the edges of the leaves, cutting away any excess to create a neat and tidy finish. The final result is a well-thatched roof that not only protects her home, but also gives it a natural, rustic charm. After completing the roof, she moves on to constructing the walls of the house. The first step is to install the bottom frame along the foundation. She uses sturdy wooden beams, carving notches at both ends of each beam to ensure they will fit securely into place. She carefully measures the exact dimensions to ensure that the connecting joints fit together perfectly. These notches must be exact to ensure a snug and secure fit, allowing the beams to interlock tightly. Once the notches were ready, she positioned the slats and nailed them firmly into the foundation, creating a solid base for the WALS. Before starting on the walls, she takes extra steps to reinforce the ceiling. She uses horizontal beams to strengthen the roof structure, ensuring that it can support the weight of the thatch roof and any additional load. These cross beams were carefully measured and notched to connect to existing ceiling beams, which she installed perpendicular to them. With the ceiling now securely reinforced, she begins the next crucial step, constructing the walls of the house. She carefully takes the wooden planks she had prepared earlier and begins affixing them to the frame, one by one, using sturdy nails. The rhythmic sound of the hammer hitting the nails fills the air as she works with precision and focus. Each plank is placed carefully next to the other, fitting snugly together to create a seamless, solid wall. She needed to add sturdy brackets underneath the frame to elevate it, creating a solid foundation that would allow her to easily nail the boards in. She takes special care to make sure every plank is securely nailed and aligned properly, working methodically from one end of the wall to the OTHER. With each piece she adds, the walls begin to take shape, gradually enclosing the space and transforming the frame into a fully functional shelter. The structure is solid, and the wooden planks, arranged so thoughtfully, will provide both durability and insulation against the elements. She carefully plans the layout of the walls, leaving certain spaces open for the windows and main door. For the window frames, she ensures the gaps are the right size to fit the window structures, while the main entrance is left open for the DOOR. To create a solid base for the windows, she measures and cuts shorter wooden planks to fit beneath the window openings. These shorter pieces are carefully nailed into place to form the lower section of the window frames. The cuts are precise, ensuring that the planks align perfectly with the rest of the wall and create a strong foundation for the window installation's LATER. As she works, she makes sure to keep the gaps uniform and symmetrical, so the entire structure looks well organized and balanced. She is meticulous in every step of the process, paying close attention to even the smallest details. Each piece of wood is measured and cut precisely to fit, ensuring that every joint is snug and secure. With the wooden planks securely in place and the window bases ready, she can now move forward with finishing the walls and preparing the openings for the doors and WINDOWS. Next, she focuses on constructing the doors for her windows and main entrance. For the main door, she designs a double door that opens outward. She takes the wooden planks and connects them with horizontal and diagonal crossbeams, creating a sturdy frame for each door. After assembling the two door panels, she attaches them to the door frame, using strong hinges to allow them to swing open and close with ASE. She secures the hinges with nails, making sure the doors are firmly attached and can be opened and closed smoothly. For the windows, she follows a similar process. She adds extra wooden slats to the top of each window frame, not only for added visual appeal, but also to allow more natural light to enter the home. She began by attaching the top trim to the window frame, carefully securing each piece into place to complete the structure. She designed the bars like fan blades, gathering at one corner at the bottom and radiating the bars out all around. Once the top was securely in place, she moved on to the next task, making the window sashes. This time, she needs multiple window panels to cover all the window frames she has created. After building the individual window panels, she carefully fits each one into the window frames. Using hinges, she closed the doors tightly to the window frames, ensuring they could open and close easily. With every window panel in place, she checks the alignment to ensure everything is level and functional, giving the house a completed and well-sealed look. She sets to work crafting a simple bed. She begins by building a sturdy frame for the bed using wooden beams. These beams are nailed securely to the ground, creating a raised structure that keeps the bed separate from the floor of the house. The frame is solid and stable, designed to support the mattress she will later place on it. Once the frame is in place, she measures and cuts wooden planks to the exact length of the bed frame. The saw moves smoothly through the wood, and she makes sure each cut is straight and accurate. Carefully, she arranges the planks along the length of the frame, ensuring that they align perfectly. To ensure the planks fit tightly together, she takes a knife and carefully trims the edges of the planks, smoothing the joints to eliminate any gaps. Using nails, she secures each plank to the frame, creating a flat surface that will serve as the mattress foundation. The careful precision she uses ensures the bed is not only functional, but also well-crafted, making it a reliable piece of furniture for her new home. Finally, she used a broom to clean the house before moving on to the next step. After cleaning the house, she heads back into the forest to gather more bamboo poles. She noticed that there was still a gap between the cliff and the floor area. To fill this gap, she decided to use bamboo again, just like she did with other parts of the house. She carefully selects strong bamboo poles, cutting them to the right lengths. She secures the bamboo poles tightly to create a seamless connection, filling in the remaining gap and adding to the structural integrity of the home. Once completed, she turned her attention to creating safety barriers around the house and along the path near the stream. First, she measures the length of the railing, ensuring the distance is accurate for the space. At the outermost point, she drives a bamboo stake firmly into the ground to support the bottom of the railing. She placed a long bamboo pole along the ground, connecting two points together to form the base of the railing. For the top section of the railing, she chooses a large wooden log to serve as the main post. She sharpens the end of the log to create a pointed tip, ensuring that it will anchor securely into the ground. At the edge of the house, there happens to be a sturdy tree stump, which she decides to use as the second post for the railing. She carefully placed bamboo stakes to connect the two tops of the previously fixed post and the tree base dot. Bamboo sticks are firmly fixed at both ends to form a sturdy frame. Once the frame was in place, she measured horizontally along the bamboo frame. With precise measurements, she cuts the wooden logs to the exact size needed. For each piece of wood, she carefully creates matching notches at both ends to allow them to fit seamlessly into the frame. For the bamboo framework, she uses a chisel to carefully carve holes into the bamboo poles. She lines up the logs with the holes and inserts them, making sure each piece fits snugly into place. After finishing the railing along the edge of the stream, she turns her attention to building the railing around the entire house. This time, she chooses to use wood for the framework, as it will complement the rustic look of the house and provide a more solid, durable structure. She carefully measures and cuts the wooden logs to the right lengths, ensuring they will align perfectly with the posts of the house. Once the pieces are ready, she begins attaching them to the posts, connecting the logs securely to form the base of the railing. With the framework firmly in place, she moves on to the next step, adding the vertical slats. This time, she takes extra care to carve each slat with saw, flowing curves using a chisel. The process is time-consuming, as she is meticulous in shaping each piece to fit seamlessly into the overall design. The graceful curves she creates lend a sense of elegance and craftsmanship to the railing, adding an artistic touch that enhances the natural beauty of the wood. Once the bars were in place, she carefully attached them to the railing. The notches she had chiseled earlier now coming into play, helping her secure the bars more neatly. After finishing the railing in front of the house, she moves on to complete the remaining areas, ensuring that every corner of her home is surrounded by a safe, secure environment. She applies the same method she used earlier, taking her time to carefully craft each section of railing with precision and attention to detail. With the frame in place, she continued adding vertical bars, shaping each bar with graceful curves to match the design she envisioned. The process may be repetitive, but her dedication to perfection is unwavering. She ensures each piece fits seamlessly into the frame, creating a consistent and harmonious look throughout. As she works, she carefully checks her progress, making sure each section is securely fastened and aligned properly. Slowly, the entire perimeter of her home is transformed into a well-protected and visually pleasing space. The railings are not just functional, but add a touch of elegance to the house, bringing together the natural materials and her craftsmanship. By the time she finished, the house is fully enclosed with sturdy, beautifully crafted railings. The space now feels complete, offering both safety and aesthetic value, providing her with peace of mind and a beautiful home to enjoy. At the edge of the rocky cliff, she begins to dig into the earth, carefully shaping a natural staircase that will provide safe access for movement. She methodically carves out each step, ensuring that the slope is gradual enough to make climbing easier. To ensure safety while using the stairs, she decides to add a handrail on one side, much like the railings she had previously crafted along the stream. Next, she begins constructing an outdoor kitchen, starting with a canopy to provide shade from the sun. She secures a sturdy wooden pole into the ground to serve as the umbrella's central support. Using her crafting skills, she weaves a bamboo frame for the umbrella, and then layers it with large leaves to create a natural, sun-resistant covering. The result is a charming and functional canopy that perfectly complements the rustic aesthetics of her home. With the canopy completed, she moves on to building the cooking area. For this, she constructs a square frame out of bamboo, ensuring it is stable and has a solid base. Once the framework is ready, she covers it entirely with a thick layer of soil, carefully smoothing and packing it down to create a durable and heat-resistant surface. Her outdoor kitchen begins to take shape, a blend of nature's materials and her own ingenuity. Finally, she adds finishing touches to her doors by crafting sturdy handles and secure latches. With careful precision, she attaches them to the doors using nails, ensuring they are firmly fixed and functional. This detail not only enhances the usability of the doors, but also adds a refined touch to her rustic home. With her work complete, she lights a fire and prepares a well-deserved dinner, reflecting on her day of hard work and achievement. As the sun sets and the warm glow of the fire illuminates her surroundings, a sense of accomplishment fills the air. Her journey of building a house above the stream has reached its end. Thank you for accompanying her every step of the way, witnessing the effort and passion poured into this project. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. Goodbye and see you again.